All right, all right, all right. Yo, yo, yo. What is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for this Freaky Friday, September 15th of 2023. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys are having a lovely week. New moon was last night. Go Birds. The Eagles won last night, so I'm happy about that. And we, as of the time of me making this, Mercury is still station retrograde, but they do go station direct today. I say they because Mercury is more hermaphroditic, if anything. Anyways, hopefully you guys are doing well. Let's hop into the transits for today. Well, like I said, at the current moment, at least as of the time of me making this, 9:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do have, of course, this moon over here at 27 degrees of Virgo, and it is trining over to Pluto. So the day starts off with a trine to Pluto. This is, of course, this moon wanting to fill everything out, wanting to feel like we want to feel like we have all the details together, especially coming off of a new moon, especially coming off of a time where it's like, well, there could be this feeling, this pull to like want to like change things up and do things anew and start some new projects, start whatever. And I honestly don't think this is the time for that. Just because we still have all these planets retrograde. This new moon was stamped with a Mercury, Uranus, Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto plus Chiron all retrograde. So, yeah, just because this was the degree that Mercury stopped at, it did not go direct yesterday for that new moon. So that was the stamp of this new moon. This was a new moon that was about tending to the seeds and the plants that we have already planted and taking care of those. That's what this was about. Today, we're going to have this moon that's going to trine over to Pluto. And it's going, like I said, we're going to want to feel like we have some sort of plan together. We're going to want to feel like we have all of our ducks in a row and that we can really execute on this plan and really move forward. And we're going to want to feel like something new is happening and sparking off. But that's not really quite what this new moon is about. This was not a new moon really to plant seeds, if you will. The only seed that really should have been planting, that you should have been planting, was that you're going to continue to put in the work and continue to put in the effort on whatever it is that you want to do on your spiritual journey, whatever you're striving for, whatever seeds that you planted, right? Back in Taurus season, right? Because that's when we planted those seeds, was back in Taurus season. That's what, or you can say like Aries, Taurus season, springtime. That's when those seeds were planted, if you will. This is about, like I said, cultivating and maintaining that energy. So this moon, it's going to want to, like I said, it's going to want to feel like it has everything figured out. But that's not quite the case, right? This trine over to Pluto, yeah, it's a trine, but remember Pluto and the moon, eh, Pluto rules Scorpio, the moon falls in Scorpio, right? So it's like they don't necessarily really get along because like the moon obviously can get pretty emotional about things. Pluto has like a I don't give a fuck kind of attitude, right? And it being in Capricorn, not only that, but it's getting close to that 27th degree, which is America's Pluto, 27 degrees Capricorn. So there's trine here. You know, it's technically a positive aspect, but I think really what it's going to come down to is that you're going to want to feel, like I said, you have your ducks in a row, but then this Pluto is going to provide this major check as far as like, okay, well, how does this fit into society? How does this fit into a society that is changing rapidly? These new plans that you have, are they for the old world or are they for the new world? If they're for the old world, well, you may be able to implement them and kick them off faster, maybe even get some recognition faster, but it'll be a short-lived reality. It'll just be like pew, pop onto the scene and then pop out because it no longer fits in with the paradigm of the new world that's being formed that we're all birthing. That's the thing about this. If it is something that is unique, new, so it's going to raise the vibration of the planet, something that society may not be ready for. That's the difficult part, because then it's going to be like, well, do I continue doing it despite the fact that I'm not getting any external recognition for this, or not as much external recognition? You're probably getting some recognition now. You're starting to get some heads that are starting to turn, but you're not going to necessarily get the recognition and the accolades and the attention that maybe you feel like you deserve, or you feel like something like this, you'd be like, well, shouldn't this be obvious that I'm doing this kind of work? Why wouldn't people want to, get more involved in that? Well, the world's not quite ready for it yet, but that doesn't mean that you give up. It doesn't mean that you give up, which is why today's meditation, as you can see. Oh wait, I thought I changed this. Oh, did it not save? Oh snap! It didn't even save. I noticed that. That's so funny, because the ticker at the bottom is not even correct. It's like, see, look at that. That's life. Sometimes things happen. As you can see, this is still Mercury direct. This is still Mercury station retrograde. Literally right here. I thought I had put this in. I thought I had all my ducks in a row, and I don't quite have all my ducks in a row. But that's okay. Even if someone catches you slipping, how are you going to play off slipping? Are you going to just be like, oh no, I can't believe they caught me slipping. Oh my gosh, you're going to think I'm a hypocrite because I'm not perfect. Like, no, just roll with the freaking punches. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Sun in Virgo, Moon ingress in Libra. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Yeah, so Venus square. Oh, I'm surprised that I forgot to save it. That's what it was. Venus square Jupiter. This is literally one of those moments where it's like, man, if you forget to save your progress, don't be surprised. And I think that's what this is. It's like, I feel like with this with coming off this new moon, and like while the moon finishes up in Virgo before it goes into Libra, and Mercury is still stationed retrograde, this is like us forgetting to save our progress in a video game. And then like, or we swear, we had saved our progress in a video game, and maybe we got past a level that took us forever to beat, right? And then you turn off the game, go to sleep. The next day, come back to the game, and it turns out you forgot to fucking save. Ooh, how are you going to respond to that? How are you going to respond to the fact that you forgot to save? How are you going to respond to that? Let's see. Then I got Sun, Trine, Uranus, retrograde, and Taurus. And then I got Mercury. See, I'm doing this in the moment. Mercury stations direct. We're going to talk about that too, because even though Mercury stations direct today, we're not really going to feel anything move forward until Tuesday, because it's going to move. It's going to take a little bit. And today's meditations, there's actually two meditations for today. So there's actually two of them. They actually kind of go hand in hand, and they've already been freaking applied. I've already kind of talked about them too. So the first one, and I'll probably end up just talking about these meditations today, and I'll probably put them in like the description below, just so I can continue about this. Boom. See, there you go. Sun in Virgo, Moon ingress into Libra, Venus square Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, Sun trine Uranus retrograde in Taurus, and Mercury stations direct. But the first meditation meditation I have for today was, before moving or speaking, examine your mind, then act appropriately and with composure. That was the first one. So they kind of go hand in hand. And then the second one, because I could have like totally freaked out that I forgot to put the ticker at the bottom. And it's funny too, because even before I didn't have the ticker. You know what I mean? But now I kind of care about it. But am I going to like just get so worked up about it because it doesn't see? This is literally Mercury retrograde. This is still Mercury station retrograde. It's not going to station direct until later on today. And then the other meditation was have the courage to want the very best for yourself. I want to be the very best no one ever was. Dun, dun. Anyways, so now that we're back, like I said, the moon's going to want to feel like it has everything in order. Pluto's going to be like, are you sure it actually fits into the world, the current reality? And are you willing to be malleable? Fixed, I mean, not fixed Earth, mutable Earth. Are you willing to be malleable and plan to have your plans changed? Right? That is like the definition of these times right now, especially with all these retrogrades still. And the stamp of this new moon, plan to have your plans change. Maybe not all your plans, you know what I mean? Not all of your plans, but just plan to have your plans changed. And that's why it's like you want to like think before you like move or speak, and just speak with composure, right? That's what the meditation was for today, right? Speak with composure and act appropriately. Examine your mind. Don't be impulsive right now. Because with so many planets that are retrograde, it's so easy to be impulsive, right? This Pluto is definitely going to be checking us today emotionally. Be like, well, and that's the thing. The sun is coming into this trine as well. We, in many ways, have a pretty loose grand Earth trine with that new moon, Pluto, and Uranus, right? So two of those planets, like I said, are retrograde. So it's like Uranus, 22 degrees. Yeah, does it fit in with the world yet? Are you able, like, do you have the courage to really talk with other people, communicate with other people? I know people are scary now. I know they're trying to make you want to just live in pods and eat bugs and be in just VR and not actually talk to anyone and not actually have like any like deep connection with other people and soul to soul connection. You can't even look at people in the eyes when you talk to them because it's so awkward. You notice that? You notice that? Do you actually look people in the eye when you talk to them? And how long do you hold that attention, right? We're like, so people, they're trying to get us to be so afraid of connecting with other people, right? So this moon is going to shift into Libra, right? Mercury still at 8 degrees 00. Still, still, it's still station retrograde. It's pretty much stopped, but it's not going to really do anything until what, 4:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the moon has to click all the way into Libra. It's like a sneeze right on the tip of my, like right here. The moon has to click all the way into Libra before Mercury finally is station direct. Finally just moves that tiny little inch. That tiny little inch. Now, that inch for a lot of people is going to feel like a mile. It's going to feel like a mile because it's going to be like they're going to feel like the parachute. Like say if you're running with like a parachute, right? And there's some resistance, right? That little inch is going to give some people, it's going to make some people feel like they have all the parachutes off. I'm sorry, you still have a Uranus parachute, you still have a Jupiter parachute, you still have a Chiron, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto parachute right now. And a Mars in Libra leading the pack. So if you think you're gonna like just blast forward right now and change everything about your life right now, and you're just going to just come right into it right now, like I said, you're going to get isekai'd into a whole new reality. Like you get isekai'd into, I'm about to expose my weakness right now. You're about to get isekai'd into a fantasy world, and you meet some chick, probably with red hair and probably a large rack, because that's just kind of how the animes are, right? You know, she instantly falls in love with you, but it's like it takes her like 7 or 8 episodes to realize it, and then she finally kind of admits it on the 11th episode, and by the 12th episode you're about to kiss her, but the 3 to 4 other chicks and the one dude that are also like interested in you bust into the room, right? And then everyone just laughs and shit, and then it pans off into the sky, and that's the end of the anime, right? It's like, so you want to get isekai into a situation where you get all of this attention. It's like almost like a harem, if you will, of all of the things you want in your life. It's not going to happen. You already have. You've already been blessed with so much right now, with everything that you need to move forward. So that moon, like I said, it clicks into 1 degree of Libra. And of course, this is going to want to bring some emotional balance to things, right? But the moon's about to meet up with Mars in Libra. Not going to be easy. You want to talk about a weekend where, like especially Saturday, you want to talk about a day where there could be some emotional volatility, where Mars is just trying to like just this is like political power grabs based purely off of emotion. Whether it's in like government or just like in your or just like in life in general, weird political, diplomatic, emotional power grabs is what that's about to come into, right? So by the time, by the end of the day, going into Saturday, that moon's going to be at 5 degrees here. The sun would have trined over to Uranus, which is nice. That happens like later in the evening, if we just go back a little bit. Yeah, so 9:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have that sun trining over to Uranus. Venus is still in square to Jupiter. It's not exact, but it's getting there. And we got to remember, see, you see my ADHD brain, how it just jumped around. I don't even know if I have ADHD, but I know that I just jump around. So bear with me, y'all. Remember, this Venus square Jupiter has been happening for months. They squared each other when they were both direct. They squared each other when Venus was retrograde and Jupiter was direct. And then they're going to square each other with Jupiter retrograde and Venus direct. It doesn't normally happen this way where they square each other like this 3 times. Usually it's only once if they do. We're getting 3 passes of this. Venus much rather be where Jupiter is right now in her home sign of Taurus. And Jupiter much rather be where Venus is right now in Leo because it's a fire sign and his wife Juno is there. He'd much rather be with his wife. But no, his wife is hanging out with the girls. And you want to just be careful because, like I said, this is a square. You want to just be careful, you know. You don't like this is not necessarily a good time to like listen to like the girls or the boys' advice if you know it's going to take you down a weird ass rabbit hole, right? Of shit that you used to do like in your early 20s. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, we should go out to this random this random bar in like the middle of like an alleyway or whatever like that in town. I know you haven't gone out to the club in like 10 years, but let's have some fun, right? Let's do that. Let's feel youthful. Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to go down that rabbit hole? Just so you can feel something, some kind of spark, some type of edge? Are you sure you want to do that? Probably not the best idea. Now, if your friends are wanting to, bring out the creative element in you, the joyous element in you, something that has you striving to become the very best that you can be. then yeah, that's something that will be better for you to engage in. Remember, one of the meditations for today: before moving or speaking, examine your mind and act appropriately and with composure. So, you know, I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do. If you say yes, it's cool, but if you say no, do so respectfully. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go chasing any intense, edgy energy right now. There's no need to go chase that right now. So we still have a Venus that's in shadow, right? She's going forward. She's moving now, finally, but she's still in shadow. And she still has to square Jupiter. So, like, this is not the day for that. Saturday's not the day for that. Sunday's not the day for that. It's just not, right? Now we have that sun trine over to Uranus. This is nice, but like I said, once again, we're going to want to have all these answers and have this plan and everything like that. Now the trine to Uranus, like I said, it's a positive one, but at the same time, remember Uranus is offline, so it's like the electricity is not going to come from an external source. It's going to have to come from within. The spark, the electricity, the epiphanies, that sort of stuff, right? The ingenuity, connecting with other people. It's going to have to come from within. Like there's a desire to do so. There's a pull to do so. But are you going to just hide? Are you not going to be extroverted? Are you not going to be willing to connect with other people on a deeper level and not have it be like super surface level? Are you willing to share those gifts with other people and what you are cultivating and what you will soon be harvesting, right? This is the moment, the sunshine Uranus, where it's like you find the people that you want to share this with. This is not like, this is a time where it's like we don't necessarily want to just be on an island all by ourselves, right? This is a time where it's good to connect with other people, but are you willing to kind of come out of your own shells, and are you willing to, like, move forward from whatever may have happened in the past? And if you really like critically think about it, was it so bad? Was it so bad? And that's the thing about this, Friday, like I said, you come to the end. Moon's in Libra, 5 degrees. Mercury is still at 800. And Mercury will stay at 8 degrees this entire weekend. Mercury doesn't move to 9 degrees until Tuesday. And the moon at that time will be in Scorpio, making oppositions to Jupiter and Uranus that day. So when our mind finally kind of clicks and it feels like we're kind of moving things forward, we have a moon in Scorpio. Remember, it doesn't like to be in Scorpio, and it opposes Jupiter and Uranus. Talk about a reality check. Talk about feeling like you saved the game and you come back and you realize that you didn't save the game. But here's the thing. You did win. You did beat that boss before. You won that level before. You got past it before. You can do it again. And you'll probably will do it even better. The only way that you don't do it better or like win with flying colors in that particular level and beating that level, if you will, the only way that you don't is if you doubt yourself. The only way that you do is if you let your emotions kind of get way too round up in the way. Don't deny your emotions, acknowledge them, but also don't allow it to super take over and then cloud your judgment, and then you're not able to actually fight and not able to actually do that level. You get too caught up. I'm just preparing you guys for this weekend. There's going to be some people that really just going to want to just push the envelope, and they're going to just be hasty, apprehensive. It's like, I got to do something. Like they're gonna feel this like the new moon is already weird, and then like this Mercury that's stationing direct, but it's gonna be at 8 degrees the entire weekend and shit like that. And then a moon is going to go over Mars and the South Node this weekend. Don't jump the gun this week. Don't jump the gun today. Appreciate and acknowledge the beautiful things that are working out right now, and hone in on them. Hone in on them. Continue to foster those connections that are beautiful in your life. Hone in on them. And if there's a connection in your life that is not so beautiful, but there's still an inkling of a connection there, acknowledge that. And you don't have to like do anything rash and try and like have like some sort of deep conversation with this individual or try to like just super make up right now. But if there's like a little inkling of it, just acknowledge it, embrace it, smile at it, and then continue on. That conversation will eventually open up. So let's get into the cards. Not too many astrologers are going to tell you this. They're not going to be like, yeah, Mercury's going to be going forward now and stuff like that. So yeah, you can finally start to execute on those plans and stuff like that. No, I'm saying plan to have your plans change. Like I said, like Mercury stays at 8 degrees the entire weekend. And when Mercury finally, I'm reiterating this one, Mercury finally gets to 9 degrees, finally starts to pick up a little bit of speed. Moon oppose the Taurus energy, Jupiter and Uranus. So, yeah. This deck is one of the harder ones to shuffle, I've noticed. All right, let's see what we got for today. Let's see what we got. All right. The Hangman in reverse. An unwillingness to let go and let God. I'm telling you, there's going to be a propensity for this today. Feeling like you have to have it all together, feeling like you have to know, feeling like you want to choose how you're hanging. Dude, that was the song I sang last night at karaoke. Hanging by a Moment by Lifehouse. Hanging by a Moment. I think that's what we kind of feel like. We're all hanging by a moment, but we almost want to like choose the way that we're hanging, right? It's like, well, at least I want to hang this way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is definitely very much so a cliffhanger kind of a day and a cliffhanger kind of a weekend. And we'll talk more about the weekend when I get to like the weekend astrology forecast. I'll go like more in depth into it. But that's what this is. This is definitely more like a cliffhanger kind of deal. And you're like, well, I'm hanging by this cliff, you know. Like, this is not a time where it's like, it's not a time to just give up on it, right? Just because you're left on a cliffhanger. And then it's almost like, you know what this is? This is almost this. It's like edging. Have you heard of this shit? Where you get close to climaxing sexually and you don't. This week is gonna feel like that. Some of y'all are not gonna like it, and you're gonna get pissed off about it. We also have the Four of Cups, right? I'm telling you, this is a time where we kind of have to bide our time, you know, kind of hanging out behind this wall. You know what I'm saying? Kind of doing a little bit more of a control. I like the way that this card goes about it because it just shows the fourth cup just kind of hanging up in the air, and then these two guys are hiding behind this wall, and there's a fire there, and it's like they could be freaking out. They can be going crazy. They can be like, oh my God, what are we going to do? They can be pulling their hair out because you can see the fire behind that wall. And clearly there's something going on. Either they are in some sort of like crazy boss battle, right? Or they're just waiting for someone to come save them. But they are calm in the eye of the storm. They are calm while it feels like this rage and this fire is going on around them and this destruction is going around them. Are you going to be so steadfast on it looking a certain way and not just allow things to unfold naturally? Allow God to work miracles in your life. I have the bee. I have the card of the bee. Hard work is rewarded with responsibility and a sweetness that is shared. Now, let's break that down for a second. Hard work is rewarded by responsibility. Now, that is the most Capricorn shit I think I've ever heard of. And a sweetness that is shared, though. So, yeah, when you put in the hard work and you're recognized for your hard work, you're given more responsibility because and then what's responsibility? Having the ability to respond to stimuli. So, yeah, when you work hard at something, you're given more responsibility. You're responsible for more things, more people. But you also get the sweetness and the joy that is shared as well. The end product, the nectar, that is also, and you when you create that and you share that, bees are so integral to this freaking planet. I have a belief that bugs are aliens. I think bees are like probably like, you know, one of the most advanced creatures on this freaking planet. And they're probably like either aliens or robots or little machines. I feel like that's what bugs are, but bees are like they're border they kind of almost like straddle that gap, if you will. You know, everyone's like birds aren't real. I'm like, dude, I don't think insects are real, but bees, I think that they're like almost like a hybrid or something like that. But y'all know that the entire the entire ecosystem would collapse without these little dudes, right? All of the hard work that they put in and the responsibility that they carry, but then the sweetness that they also create and they're able to share, pollinating this entire freaking world, the primary pollinators of the world, I would feel. I had to do some research, but that's just how I feel. The primary pollinators of the world, I feel. And they're able to, they do so much for this planet. But that's why you kind of want to get into like the bee mode, right? Hard work, responsibility, but also the sweetness that is produced as a result of your hard work and as a result of taking on more responsibility. So that is going to do it for your astrology forecast for this Freaky Friday, where it feels like we're moving forward, but we thought we saved, but we didn't save. And maybe we wake up in someone else's body, and then we use their credit cards and all this shit. But then we learn it's like, oh shit, they have it much harder than I thought they did, and vice versa for them to you. So that is going to do it for your astrology forecast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. And as always, y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful Friday. I'll see you guys on the weekend astrology forecast. Peace.